Welcome everyone to the Healing Corner podcast. I hope y'all are doing well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get this started, y'all. We're gonna be talking about gender bullying. So, if y'all have any type of comments or anything that you would like conversation, please put it in the chat. If you would like to be a part of our conversations, make sure that you put your information in the chat, or you can send us a message right here in our inbox. So definitely feel welcome to do so. We do have a link tree as well. So check out our website. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the coaches on.
Hey y'all,
What's up,
here's the
baby?
thing. I didn't finish doing what I'm doing in Knoxville, so I'm still here. I'm having brunch with my mom.
Hi, Mom.
They said, hey mom. Oh, and here's my food.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes, but yes, I'm ready. I'm gonna mute me while I'm not talking, but I will join in.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so y'all, besides what I was just telling you guys, definitely check out all the information in our bio for our links and everything. I did want to do like a general, um, what do you want to call it, definition of what gender bullying is before we even get into it, just in case, just to clear the air and just to make sure everybody's on the same wavelength. So I did do a little research about it, and what the Google tech, let's put it like that, their definition of gender type based bullying is sexuality or gender-based bullying can be similar to sexual harassment or sexual oriented discrimination. It can be suggested comments or jokes, insults or taunts, pictures, emails, texts sent by the bully, and intrusive questions about someone's personal life. So that's what I got. I do want the ladies to talk about what they have come up with. I know we're going to start off with Coach Tasha. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself if you like, and then get started, or however you want to do it.
Hey, y'all. I'm Coach Latasha. For those of you that know me, you know that I'm an intuitive spiritual advisor, spiritual coach, and self-love coach. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. So as Coach Deb said about gender bullying, what it is, in addition to that, it also can be considered one type of sexual harassment, or it's harassment in itself. It's based on hostility, and often an attempt to make someone feel unwelcome in a certain environment or a certain situation. Okay, there's different forms of gender bullying, which could be violence, as far as sexual violence, and actual or attempt of SA. Okay, forced prostitution, trafficking, or there's also physical, which is the actual or the attempt of threatening someone with physical assault and battery. Um, Also, they on Google it said as well slave-like practices too. So slavery can also be considered gender bullying as well. Hey, cuz. um, Also emotional bullying, or I'm sorry, emotional effects with gender bullying could be like abuse or I can't speak. Humiliation. Okay, insults, degrading somebody, trying to compel somebody to engage in humiliating acts, and restricting somebody's freedom. Examples of that is also invading someone's personal space, forcing somebody to hug you that you feel uncomfortable around, demanding unnecessary physical contact, putting someone down due to their gender or their sexual preference, making comments about someone's physical attributes, their characteristics and mannerisms, sexual innuendos, vulgar jokes, stuff like that. Also in the workplace, making someone dress sexual. I've seen that in a workplace before, or heard stories about it where you know, it was with the men doing that to the women, making them dress what they felt was inappropriate, make them more attractive to that person. But it can also affect people physically and emotionally. It can trigger, hold on, I gotta look at my notes. It can trigger anxiety or depression. People also have major weight loss due to this, insecurities, even self-blame, feeling like they shouldn't put themselves in a situation even though they're not to blame. But that's what I got so far.
And then just to add to that, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just to add to that, the things that I came across with the research that I did is, like Deb said, all the things that it covers. Essentially, bullying is making somebody try to do shit the way that you want them to do it and not the way that is good for them. And the biggest takeaways and concerns for me was that oftentimes that affects, like if we're talking about kids, that's going to affect their ability to focus in school. Also, suicide rates are higher because of bullying. And to just, you know, bring the LGBTQIA plus community into the conversation, their rates of suicide and other types of bullying that they experience, especially grade school kids, is damn near double what straight children or children that identify as straight experience in school. And so that's terrifying because people are out here not given room or space to love themselves, and they're just trying to figure themselves out. And we're trying to shove a version of them down their throats, and it might not be a good fit. Everybody's way is not the way, and that's what's so disturbing about this. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys. Definitely leave your comments in the comment section so that way we'll have your input as well. I also like kind of to piggyback off of what you were talking about, Coach Yams, cyberbullying. You know, that's also in a way form of can be through gender bully when you come to the, you know, aspect of some people, they just want to use the cybering way, the internet way, to perform this type of bullying as well. So we definitely want to be aware of that. What I was seeing on the research that I was getting here, it was saying that we expect the female or the male will exhibit different likelihoods, but they're also still going to be perpetuating that. So like we see these wars or battles, whatever y'all want to call it, the what they say, passport bros, and you know, these other type of things, these other type of issues with what high value men, high value women. Like it's not really helping the situation or the community by being in these different, I stand for this or I stand for that. We're making like situations that's supposed to be natural become something that's like political, and it's not meant to be in that type of way. It's basically disrupting our whole foundation. We can't even build because we have these battles and these gender-based bullying that's basically occurring, and it's causing the other, like Yams was talking about, the younger generation, they're seeing this and they're perpetuating the cycle. So we got to stop it because it's not going to get any better if it's not stopped before this internet thing starts to get out of hand. Okay, so Coach Tasha, what else do you have?
Also with gender bullying, that can it not only come from your peers, it can also come from your family and well, family and friends. But with your family, it could be like you could be the only gender in your family and you get picked on because of that gender. Like you're looked down upon because you're that gender. So for example, if you're the only girl in a all male household, like you have, you know, raised by your dad, you have a bunch of brothers, and they tease you for being a woman and the things that you go through as a woman and make you feel lower than them. That's definitely something that can occur in a household, or vice versa. You know, a male being raised by all females and they belittle him because he's a male, right? And even like you said with the sexual preference, you could have someone that is gay or whatever they go by, whatever their preference is. They're bullied by their preference. They're bullied by not being what the gender role is, right? Especially with kids, with, like you said, kids are discovering themselves, learning themselves, and they might not be sure of what their preference is, so they're exploring themselves, and they're bullied because they're trying to figure themselves out. So yeah, as far as like the cyberbullying, that is something definitely huge, especially in with the younger generation. I did read that more females experience cyberbullying than males, because more females are more social than males on the internet. But it can come from for any gender at all. It's definitely a big problem that needs to be addressed, and needs to be healed.
Okay, Coach Ems.
Yeah, and just to expand on that, like, with back to LGBTQIA plus, honey, because right now it's so prevalent in the news right now. Like
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, there's the ban on youth gender affirming care.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the ban on drag things, drag events, performances, whatever, in public spaces where children are. And ultimately, this just boils down to, it is gender bullying, but it's specifically white cisgendered men bullying the world to fit into the box that they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, are you secretly gay, or you don't know, or do you just really have control issues? Because that's what this is. This is what this is all about. It's about religious extremism and all of the isms, and trying to make people do what a handful of people have decided is the norm.
Yeah.
And there is no norm. There's no right way to live life. This is a spiritual experience in a human body, and we don't have a fucking clue most of the time.
Very true.
And so to try to make laws and rules and regulations and all of that, it's unhealthy and it's unsafe. And it just perpetuates that a handful of people have a say so over the world. And that's not true. There's so many of us with different backgrounds and different beliefs, and, plenty of love to go around. We don't have to try to tell people how to live their life.
To jump into what you said about the religion, as we know, a lot of the laws are based on the Christian, on the Christian laws, right? So, of course, with the LGBTQ plus community, they don't fit into that, so they're always outcasted because of their beliefs, right? They want to be free, they want to be themselves, they want to discover themselves, but Christian law doesn't allow them to be that because they're an abomination, right? So that's another way. Religion is another way to gender bully, because they do the gender roles. They're very specific on gender roles. Men and women are only supposed to be together, they're only supposed to procreate with each other and nothing else. So the laws bully that community. If you're outside that, even if you're in another religion, the law bullies the other religion, the Christian laws. So yeah, it's gender bullying goes deeper than just necessarily your sexual role. It goes against your religion as well.
I wanted to talk about that part of it, but I have something to tag off of what you said first.
Okay.
It has something to do with like gender roles and how that can be a form of gender bullying, because we have to realize now the gender roles are no longer the same, and until people can grasp that concept, it's going to be a struggle. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes a pull, and it's like, oh well, you're supposed to wash the dishes, and I'm supposed to do this, but you got to look at the reality of the thing. Somebody's putting energy in something else. They can no longer continue to keep just having only this. We got to balance it out. So I was reading some research about that, how it says often women and girls are confined to fulfilling roles as mothers, wife, and caregivers. Gender normal position girls as caregivers, which lead to gender inequality or how the roles are distributed in the household level. This also results in lack of education due to the restrictions of outside opportunity. So like it goes back and forth. It's like the more, higher technology is, the more people are not, seeing that there's different roles, different opportunities, and other different things that are contributing to your household. You're letting this internet into your household. So of course there's going to be a change. The children are paying attention to this when they go to school. There's an effect that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. But back to Coach Yams, because I know you got something to say.
Oh, I don't have anything in particular to say, just that as for me in my house, when I do have my husband, there will be no specific gender roles that we're conforming to. Because ultimately, I mean, we can both take out the trash, we can both do the dishes, and we can share the responsibility of cooking, because that's a whole process. You got to grocery shop, cook, and do the dishes. Somebody got to help me do part of this. And I don't care who do what, long as I got some hands on deck to make it happen.
Right.
I mean, but for real, like, people are so concerned about fitting into these roles instead of showing up and being a helpmate in your household.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
ultimately, that's what the partnership is about having someone to help you do this thing called life. And so why are we worried about who cutting the damn grass? Let's pay somebody to cut the grass.
Right.
How about that?
And go out to eat or do something.
Right.
Something.
Go
But
fly.
it's not, you don't have to do like, and I understand that like there has to be words and there has to be labels and things to give language to a thing. But we don't have to live and die by that specific language. Things are fluid, things flow, life ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
And so being honest about humanness ever changing is where I think would be so helpful if the world would stop being so concerned about the box. There is
Yeah.
no box. Live outside that thing. Live your life. Are you hurting somebody? No? Okay, great. Live your best life.
And that's where that spiritual awakening, in a sense, is getting outside of that box, right? Breaking outside of what we grew up learning, being our true authentic selves, right? So we don't have to worry about roles or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely, I agree totally, Coach Ems.
Yep, yep, yep. I love it. So if you guys don't talking about
I just want to say thank you, Ogechi, for waving. She says she don't know if she's doing it, but she's waving.
shout out to you. Shout out to you. We appreciate that. Much love. What I was thinking, you guys, I want to give you guys a little bit of hint of what we're going to be talking about next. Our next podcast, we're going to be talking about religion. So to kind of tag on what Coach Tasha was talking about, to kind of emphasis on gender bullying and how religion, has caused an effect in different parts of the world, not just America. When we look at a religion, that can be in different forms, and where you're located at can affect it in another type of way. Because you can be a certain religion over here in America and still have freedoms to be able to do certain things, versus if you're in another part of the world where it's not so free. So that's another topic we're going to talk about, and then we're gonna get into that. We have a special guest that's going to be on there for that, y'all. So, but we're 10 almost. What, we got 10 minutes left. So, you guys got any like closing remarks or anything, coaches?
My closing remark is always going to be stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and live your life on your terms. This is the whatever your name is show. Over here, this is the Yamana show.
Okay.
And we are living it and doing it, whatever that looks like, day to day. And I'm staying in my lane, not hurting nobody.
Absolutely.
And if I am hurting you, please let me know, because it's not my intention. And I
Right.
ain't got no problem apologizing.
Yeah. My closing remarks is live your life intentionally. Don't care about what anybody has to say or how they feel about you. Know what you feel about yourself. Love yourself authentically. Okay. And don't be too hard on yourselves. Okay. Because this is life. We're learning. This is the earth school. So, keep taking one step at a time. If you fall back on anything, pick yourself back up and keep going. Okay. And don't judge yourself and don't judge others. Keep being you. That's all I had to say about that.
I love it. What I have to say, you guys, what I feel is though The internal is what's important. When you see something on the outside that doesn't reflect how you feel about yourself on the inside, internally, truly, then that means that you got to do some type of internal work on yourselves. Let's not look outside of ourselves and blame the outside person, regardless of their gender, regardless of where they come from in life. Let's look at it from what is within ourselves. What do we know internally is what it is. Intuition, you guys, is just being tapped into yourself. That's all it is. You know,
Yes.
some of us have more practice than others. That's the only difference. Some of us started when we were little and now we're older and we know what it is. And some of you guys have never done it before, so it causes an effect on you. It's hard for you to take responsibility, take accountability for what it is that's within yourself. But then you can also find which direction you should be going as well once you tap into your internal self. Some people call it inner standing. If you want to say that, whatever. But
Yes.
I hope that this helped you guys. We only have a few more minutes, so we're going to shout out our pages. Make sure y'all check out our other pages because each individual one of us contributes to the collective. So you definitely want to take a look at what all we have to offer if you are interested in getting some more hands-on healing. I know Coach Tasha, she sells bracelets, so that's cool. I do readings. Coach Shans do that one-on-one thing, which you got that person you can call on the phone like, oh my God, but oh man, you know, so definitely check out our pages. But we'll go ahead and close it out, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Talk to you later.
See you, cuz. Love.
Peace. See y'all next time.
Bye.